Good morning. Before I go to church, let me tape this session. Rituals in religion. The Quran says, do not say you believe because faith has not entered your heart. Say you surrender. Indeed, surrender to all the rituals regardless of whether you understand or not. And in the Bible, in Ezekiel 36:26, we read, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And also in Mark 7, Jesus condemned the ritualistic elements of the Jewish religion. In Mark here, the Pharisees and teachers of the religious law arrived from Jerusalem to confront Jesus. They noticed that some of Jesus' disciples failed to follow the usual Jewish ritual of hand washing before eating. They cup the water in the hands. They've got pour water over the hands. It's got to be running water, and a whole tradition of washing of the pots and pans and stuff like that. I said, how come your disciples, well, meaning you too, don't do these things? And Jesus replied, you hypocrites. Isaiah was prophesying about you when he said, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far away. Their worship is a farce, for they replace God's commands with their own man-made teachings. So sometimes we do, substituted external practice for the real truth. And Jesus went on to say in Mark 7:14, then Jesus called to the crowd to come and hear. All of you listen, he said, and try to understand. You are not defiled by what you eat. You are defiled by what you say and do. So the external washings really means nothing. Not that you don't wash, but you wash it, but they wash it in a certain way. Everything has to be done in a certain way that you follow it so closely that you forget why you're doing it. It's not the external that will defile you. It's what you think, what you say and do that will defile you. Then Jesus went into a house to get away from the crowds, and his disciples asked him what he meant by the statement he has just made. Don't you understand either? Can't you see that what you eat won't defile you? Food doesn't come in contact with your heart. It goes through the stomach and out the other way. Food doesn't come through your heart, but only passes through the stomach and then comes out again. Then he added, it is the thought life that defiles you. For from within a person's heart come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, eagerness for lustful pleasure, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these things are vile. They come from within. They are what defile you and make you unacceptable to God. It's what you think. What you think really comes from what you see. Your eyes see it. Lustful desires. Then it gets into your mind and it's like, and then it gets into your heart. And there's a saying in James that if you let it into you, if you let it grow in you, then you will sin, and the sin will bind you. A lot of things come through the eyes. into the mind, into the heart. And these are the things that will defile you, because eventually, if you let it grow in you, you will act upon it. The food you eat, could your buns, your thighs, but really they don't defile you. So how then should we live? We have become so familiar with these parables of Jesus that we fail to recognize its revolutionary ideas. How do we keep from sinning, considering the temptations all around us? By reading the Bible daily, by praying and asking the Holy Spirit to give us spiritual understanding and spiritual desires, so that we may remain the holy people of God. By daily attending to our thoughts, by daily attending to what we speak and say, by daily attending to reading the Word and hiding the Word in our hearts and ponder upon them. And this will in turn help us to continue to walk in the ways of the Lord and serve Him in this world.